Percy Jackson girlies loved History of Man, and suddenly the song just had a whole revival, and there was a whole trend around like the Percy Jackson characters.
I'm literally outing myself on this, but when I was younger, I was obsessed with Glee, and I used to watch like couple montage clips of like Finn and Rachel.
Yeah.
And like over the top they had like, that's kind of like what History of Man.
That was what it was for Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to the Percy Jackson community for putting a roof over our heads. Welcome back to Twinhood, your favourite podcast with your favourite twins. It's me, Maisie Peters. I'm here with
Ellen Peters, the other twin.
So true. Not lesser, just other. And we're going to be talking about our lives. We're going to be answering your dilemmas. We're just going to be having a fun time, really.
We're going to be chatting.
Chatting it up.
Chin wagging.
Chin wagging. I haven't had that for a while.
Intuitive chat.
Intuitive chat with your favourite intuitive twins.
Yes.
Being intuitive together. Just one big intuitive time. Okay. Ellen, how have you been? What's been you?
I feel like you know how I've been.
Oh, I know how you've been. You tell me every other minute, every other second.
Let's give them some context.
Yeah.
I got back from a big week.
Huge
in
week.
America. So I went to Chicago for work, and then I went to see our good friend Kate Canning in Nashville. And goodness me. Did that flight home hit me like a truck? It happens every time as well. I don't know why I think I'm above jet lag. So it starts on my flight back from Nashville. I get there. First of all, I'm put on mother freaking standby.
Do they not know who you are?
Honestly, I was kissing that middle seat. But so that was the start of my tricky journey home. And then I get into the beef with the beer. It was late at this point. You know how everyone reclines their seats on a night flight? Like, it's just the way things go. Like, you wouldn't really recline it on a day flight. So I was reclining. The people in front of me were reclining. People on my row reclining. I then get this nudge from this American woman.
Okay, wait, I'll be this woman. So she's like, because I'll have you know, heard the story 1 or 2 times. She goes, excuse me, I'm eating right now. Would you mind not reclining your chair?
And I was like, yeah, that's fine. But then I get a bit annoyed. And then halfway through, I'm like, actually, no. Like, actually, do you see everyone else here? Honestly, I think I'm not confrontational, and then I do things like this. Like,
I can't believe that you're not confrontational.
I think I was riled up from the standby. Everyone on my row starts to look at me, and I'm like, why am I like dying on this hill? And then the BA flight attendant, she was like giving like a mum of one of my friends, like, and she kind of was like, she took the woman's side. She was like, you can have your seat up whilst she's eating. I was like, and then I got really embarrassed. And then I dropped my AirPod at the end of the flight, and it landed on her like aisle, and I was like, please, can you pass me my AirPod? I'm sorry.
Listen, Ella, what happens in the air stays in the air. May we never see her again.
Honestly, I've gone on for 10 minutes just about my flight, and we haven't even gotten to
all the other things. So Ellen has come back from her 1 week, let me tell you, 1 week trip to 2 places in America, Chicago and Nashville, and is acting like she understands how I feel when I go on tour for 2 months.
Honestly,
I really get how you feel, Maisie. Like, it really is hard, isn't it? I'm like, Ellen, your flight was 6 hours long.
So I got home, and honestly, the darkness I felt, I was like typing into Reddit, is this normal? Like, is this normal to feel this low after a long haul? Like, also, it's not like I've not done like long haul flights. Like, I've been to places, but this one hit different.
And what did you say to me about your boyfriend? Because I will say, you know, when you come back from like a long tour, sometimes it takes a while to, what's the word, like acclimate? Readjust. So like with my boyfriend, sometimes we joke that like it takes a couple days to get used to seeing each other again. But bear in mind, this is me going away for like 2 months. And Ellen yesterday goes, Maisie, I really know how you feel. I look at my boyfriend and I think, who are you? I'm like, it was a week ago.
Like, who is this man? I was touching him like,
are you real?
What?
Like, is this really you?
I was honestly shaken all kind of. I was just sat in my dark room, like with my Stanley cup. And honestly, it really made me appreciate like how
everything you have.
Everything I had. I said to Maisie, oh, yeah. I said to Maisie, the home is where the heart is.
She said this like non-ironically to me as we were putting on our shoes to go to the gym, and I went, "You're so right, Queen. You should put that on a sign."
So serious though, like I meant every word.
No, you meant every word.
I think it's good for me to like leave
the house.
Leave the house, like leave London for like, a week is my max. I was like, oh my God, London Heathrow.
Now you understand how I feel.
Yeah, I'm always, as I say to everyone, my favourite part of like going away is like the flight there and the flight back. Not because of the flights, more but because like the excitement. That's so ADHD coded.
That's so ADHD coded. Another ADHD coded thing that you did was tell me in depth about, you probably spent about 25 minutes telling me about how you were really stressed about what Stanley Cup you were going to buy. And then you still are worried that you bought the wrong one. I know it's living up there. How many minutes of the day do you think about it?
Well, I was Googling it for like a good 15 minutes earlier. So when I went to Nashville, obviously every boy and girl got to do their Target shop. Like it's...
And you love a supermarket. The thing about Ellen... She eats up a supermarket. Honestly, you would go to Tesco's as like a fun trip.
Literally.
You love it in there.
Well, Kate was messaging Maisie like, what? Like, where should I take her? I said, in Nashville.
One word, Queen, supermarket. She was like, I've got to do my grocery shopping, but like, I think that's kind of boring, right? I was like, no, stop it right there. Take her to the Trader Joe's frozen section aisle. Watch her eyes light up. Did you go to Trader Joe's?
I did.
Did you love it?
I loved it, but I love Target more because I'm just free.
I'm
just running away from everyone, just like going to
You're so free in Target.
That is so free.
That's your like natural home.
It is.
Like when you die, I'll return your body there.
To Target.
Yeah. I'll put you in the Stanley Cup aisle.
Honestly, so yeah.
I'll cremate you and put Sarah in.
It took me 3 Target trips to decide because this is so niche and I hate how like far down this hole I've gone in. But it was either like, you wouldn't even know what this is, a Wala Cup. Or it was a Stanley Cup.
There's literally nothing in my eyes.
When I went there, I was like, I'm going to buy a Stanley Cup. And I had to watch about an hour worth of TikToks comparing the Stanley Cup. And I was hiding it from Kate because I was like, she's going to think I'm a psycho.
My brain right now, you're saying words and I'm hearing meep, 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 meep. That is what I'm hearing you say.
You've got more to say. The second time, she must have thought, oh my God, bitch, it's just...
That's enough. Yeah, she did say you had to go back a couple times to get the Stanley Cup.
But in the end, I went with the Stanley Cup.
It looks great.
Okay, enough about me though.
Really? I don't think you've ever said that. I don't think I've ever heard that. Come here,
so what did you do in your week without me? I know you didn't eat, that's for...
Well, yeah, there was no meals, that's for sure. Just poems and tears. No, well, I was going to say another thing we did together, because obviously me without you, like what interesting thing is there? Nothing. Another fun thing we did together was go to the Ipswich game, courtesy of King Ed Sheeran, who very kindly lets us go in his Ipswich box sometimes because our dad is like the biggest Ipswich Town fan in the world. So we all went as a little family trip up to Portman Road and we watched the game with our boyfriends and some friends.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a great victory.
It was not.
But it was fun to be part of the atmosphere. Like I don't really know much about sports, but I like the little scarves. I like going, ooh. You know, that was good. I liked being inside the box, not outside in the cold.
It was a good time. There was one point where my boyfriend was just sat. That's the difference between you and he was just sat outside alone, just taking it all in.
Ultimate mysterious girl. Yeah. The most mysterious girl at the Ipswich game.
Honestly.
And then what was funny, so your boyfriend was out there just focused on the game. Then by himself. Then our dad goes out and joins him because our dad loves the game. And then my boyfriend's watching them like a shark and he's like, I should go out too. So then he goes out to join. And in my mind, I'm like, King, you do not know what's going on. You do not know. Offside rule, he has no idea. Doesn't know what's, but he was like, it's just so him. He's like, I've just got to be involved. He just knew. He felt a magnetic pull.
No, that's my favorite thing. I love to wind him up as well because he's like obsessed with like having these connections with our family.
What's your wind up about, Mum?
Basically, our lovely mother is called Diane, but everyone calls her Di. Maisie's boyfriend just calls him Diane, and like he's so far into the Diane.
Yeah, he's big on the Diane.
But he thinks it's because he's not like close enough with her, so he feels like he's not allowed to say
but
Di.
now he's in his Diane era. Like now he just likes the Diane of it all. But yeah, we had a fun time at the game.
And we got the stickers.
And tell me
why I had to ask like the 30-year-old women hi, I hope you don't mind. I know your 10-year-old kids would probably love those stickers, but my 26-year-old boyfriend and his friend would really like the stickers. Really whilst they sat in the corner like, no, I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask. And so they got their stickers. They were really happy.
We had our Guinnesses. You got into Guinness.
Yeah, it was all a good time.
It was a perfect day. Last time we took our dad to the football, who is kind of a man of few words, I remember he turned to Ellen at the end and he went, that was one of the best days of my life. I was like, sweet, but like, King, what about when we were born, for one? Have you ever thought about that?
What else have you done?
I've been in the studio working on new music. I've been writing some love songs. Ellen, how do you feel about that?
Disgusting.
Do you get the ick?
Get major ick. Guys, I just know you're going to love it when like her love songs come out. Just know I'm going to be like internally screaming and dying. No sister should have to hear that.
No, so true. How would you feel about writing a love song about your boyfriend?
I don't think we have a lot of words to say.
It's more sort of physical actions.
It's more just vibes.
It's more sort of the football. Well, maybe we could try and write a love song about him, you know? I feel like I would, there's lots of things that I would incorporate if I was writing from you. But yeah, you're not gonna love the love songs, I don't think. You're gonna get the ick.
Yeah.
And also he might be kind of a main character. Like, how will you feel? Because you're normally the main character at the Maisie Peter shows. Happy. You won't like that, sharing the limelight. I always think about when you come to my shows and you're like, Maisie, like, only like 2 people have stopped me asking if I'm Ellen Peters. Like, what the hell?
No, I'm actually not. No, you're right. That's embarrassing.
No, you know that's true. It is true.
Right.
You love being noticed.
But then I don't think I'm very good because I'm always like, why'd you, like the occasional person that will like want for a picture with me. I'm like, why'd you want a picture with me?
Because you're famous.
No. And then they're probably like, well, this is uncomfortable. Like, she's just like, why?
Because you're a famous queen.
Okay, Queen, before we start the dilemmas, we're going to do some twin telepathy things.
That sounds ominous.
So ominous, so mysterious. So producer Paul is going to give us some questions as me and you both agree. People think we can read each other's minds, which we cannot. But please feel free to ask us another classic stereotypical twin question that is probably not true. Okay, producer Paul, take it away.
Okay, so Maisie, do you know who Ellen's first celebrity crush is?
How far are we going back?
I feel like you're going to say something crazy. 3, 2, 1.
Josh
Lion
Hutcherson.
King. What? What did you say, Josh Hutcherson from Hunger Games?
Yeah.
I was going with the Lion and the Lion King.
Ew.
Well, that's like a common one. I thought when you said how far back are we going, I thought we were going back to like
no
being a kid. Like some people think that the Lion and Lion King is sexy. That's not me. I've not come up with that. That's not my personal like.
I mean, I prefer real men, not animations.
Okay, well, sorry.
I mean, I think Josh Hutcherson's a bit of a rogue one. You know,
I'm annoyed I didn't get that now because I do remember because I always liked Gail and you liked Peter.
Yeah, I think because I read the books. So
what's the word?
I was really intertwined. I was always a Peter girl.
Yeah, no, as everyone is aware of, you did read the books. Yeah. It was like the only book you'd ever read.
Yeah, honestly, my brand was.
Yeah.
I read The Hunger Games. No, he's a short king though.
He's a short king and he likes cooking. Do you remember he works in the bakery?
Oh my god, yeah.
So it was meant to be from early on.
Yeah, I don't know what, maybe it was just the vibe with him and Katniss, like what were they, friends to lovers? I don't know, but he was
kind of enemies to lovers. More.
He was fit.
Yeah, he was a short king though. Could you make it work with a short king?
Previously, yes. Now, no.
Now, no. You've seen the light.
I've seen the light. I've been given a treat.
Yeah, nice. Although you don't like that I don't have a short king, do you?
No, selfish.
And I think it's because I'm 5'1", I should have a short king.
You don't deserve a tall one.
Sorry, Ellen.
Leave them to the tall queen.
I know, I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay, next question.
Ellen, can you guess Maisie's favourite TV show?
Oh, like current TV show.
Yeah, we could do current TV show. Let's do favourite right now.
Oh, okay.
3, 2, 1.
Bad Sisters.
We do like Bad Sisters.
Yeah, that was so
the
good.
Irish sisters that want to kill people.
Yeah.
I feel like we found a lot of like kindred energy in Bad Sisters.
Yeah, that was a good... I'm watching a new divorce show at the moment.
Ellen loves her divorce show, but it's making her a bit stressed.
I'm just getting too addicted that I was like watching it till 2 a.m. last night. And the only way...
How are you meant to have a good REM cycle with the divorce show?
No, it's like Traitors, you know, when I had to ban myself from watching it because I was just getting too overhyped.
You just get too nervous.
Ask me what I missed most in America.
Oh, I know what you missed most. 3, 2, 1. The BBC iPlayer. I know what it was.
Everyone. We do, in fact, have our TV license. So
Yeah,
don't
we do.
you be sending any more letters.
Because the thing about me is I am a stickler for the rules.
I mean, BBC TV license people, if you're listening,
Don't come round.
We play
paid
by
you.
the rules.
We play by the rules. You don't need to knock on our door.
But yeah, I mean, I missed her.
The TV.
The BBC iPlayer.
The BBC
You
iPlayer.
can't get it in America.
I know. I used a VPN to get on the BBC iPlayer last time I was in America.
No, I tried, but it wasn't working, and I was like, okay, Ellen, you
We
need
love
to
a
let
BBC iPlayer.
You need to let this go. I love a gritty British drama.
You should watch what I watched, which was the sexy trading floor one. It's like, oh, don't worry.
I love a bit of British
You would like
police
it though, yeah.
or
Yeah, you do like British police.
Or Nicola, she's like the actress that is in Unforgotten and The Split. I love you, Nicola.
So niche.
She's like,
you're probably her biggest fan.
literally.
Maybe we can get her on the podcast.
Nicola,
if you're listening.
you make a hell of a TV program. Honestly, the acting is just phenomenal.
Ellen, can you guess Maisie's weirdest habit?
I can think of one, but I don't think you're going to get it. But maybe we'll just say 2 different ones. 3, 2, 1.
Turning
socks
everything.
in bed. Oh.
You wear socks in bed?
No, I don't wear socks in bed. My weirdest habit I was going to say is I don't wear socks in bed because I think that's wrong. But I like keep my socks on because I think it's going to get me in so much trouble. I keep my socks on and then when I'm in bed, like I just like the feeling of like taking my socks off, like with my other foot, like with my toe.
Like clawing them off. That's so good. No, mine was just going to be like how you turn every single switch off.
Yeah, I am quite afraid of a house fire.
Yeah.
This is what I mean about I am the matron of the house. Like, and then when I have to leave the flat and no one's going to be there for a night or something, I do get quite scared
Also,
and I turn everything off.
You triple, quadruple lock this house at bedtime.
Yeah, but I just believe in health and safety. I'm sorry that everyone else doesn't believe in health and safety.
Honestly, if it's me...
We're not getting robbed. There's no way. They can't get through with our locking system.
Literally.
Maisie, can you guess Ellen's favourite gadget?
Queen. Don't make me pick between my children.
I know, I'm going to make you pick. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Coffee
Kindle.
machine.
Fuck.
Oh, that's
Fuck
a good one.
Yeah, you love your Kindle.
I know, but I love the process of making the
coffee.
coffee. And like with the coffee machine, I get to buy cute mugs.
You've gotten really into your mug game.
I can't just buy one. Are you kidding me?
No, you buy several.
I buy two of everything. We just have very different tastes in mugs. Like I quite like, this is really show, like we're 25, we're 24 for goodness sake.
We actually need to get alive. Someone send us to the club right now.
Send us to the club.
Literally, put some Kesha on. Get us in a little outfit and send us to the club. We can't be talking about what type of mugs we like.
But
the shape of mugs. Are you actually about to talk about it?
But I like a more like rounded mug.
I know, and I like
you like a square.
I like a big. Yeah, but you like a mug that's too big. But I don't know. We actually can't talk about this. We can't be talking about this. It's bad for our reputation. We're 24 years old.
I don't know, Le Creuset, if you'd like to get in touch.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we could be kind of like Le Creuset girls.
I see why you said Kindle, but I've fallen off it whilst I was in America, and now I need to get back on.
Yeah,
but I feel a bit lost right now with
the Kindle in general,
with the book, because I read such a good book, The Nightingale, that I just don't know.
The girls on TikTok love The Nightingale.
And one thing about me is I love the girls
on TikTok. So true.
Yeah, like I need something else to really like
grip you,
to grip me, because like I'm reading one at the moment and like I feel like if they're teenagers, I feel a bit like, well, that doesn't relate to me. I can't like,
and it is all about you.
And I can't. Yeah.
Every book ever must relate back to you, Ellen Peters.
I always know when it's a Maisie book, it's like got some kind of cool graphic, like title page.
The words aren't like half the
page.
And
it's like skinny and it's like...
It's skinny. No, I don't think that's true. Oh, I guess I do have some skinny books.
On the subject of books, Ellen, can you guess Maisie's favourite book?
Can I? The Wind, the Witch and the Witch.
The Wardrobe.
Well, I guess I could have a look. Songs of Achilles?
No, but that's a nice guess.
Because of your song?
Because of History of Man. And I'm not you listening to my songs. I'm listening to some of the lyrics and remembering them.
Yeah, I only remembered because I saw the TikTok girlies are now liking it.
Yeah, they loved History of Man. The, what was it? Percy Jackson girlies loved History of Man. And like, it was over Christmas, I remember, a few years ago. And suddenly, the song just had a whole revival. And there was a whole trend around like the Percy Jackson characters and of the TV show that they were making in America. It was so niche. And History of Man. And then it like had a whole revival.
No, because I'm literally outing myself on this, but when I was younger, I was obsessed with Glee.
Oh, well,
so obsessed with Glee. And
a loser like me.
And I used to watch like couple montage clips of like Finn and Rachel.
Yeah.
And like over the top, they had like, that's kind of like what History of Man.
That was what it was for Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to the Percy Jackson community for putting a roof over our heads.
I used to watch like Sims love stories.
Sort of on a different note. We were both on a Sims vibe as well.
Yeah, but
both on like put them in the pool, delete the ladder.
Thank you, Percy Jackson.
Thank you, Percy Jackson, for the walls and the ceiling walls over our head and the food in our air fryer. And thank you, Gleecast, for inspiring me. When I saw Rachel Berry write the song, this is so neat. Do you remember, what can you do when your good isn't good enough and all that you touch crumbles down? Yeah. Oh my God, when she...
That's so niche as well. So niche.
That moment when she sang that at like sectionals and she'd written the song, and I was like, maybe that was when I thought I could write music. When I saw Rachel Berry write a song for sectionals. How many times will it take for me?
Yeah, because it was like her writing her own song. Hang on.
To get it right.
And the throw on my wrist. And the touching hey ha. Anywho,
I thought Anyway.
Sorry. Question. If Glee was still around right now, what song would they sing of yours and who would sing it?
Okay, well, I guess I remember seeing someone talking about that.
Like
Lost the Breakup.
Yeah.
Who's singing Lost the Breakup? Oh, Rachel probably.
Yeah.
Or if I was going to be for a more niche one, what would be like a funnier one?
I feel like Rachel would sing History of Man. Or maybe like Mercedes.
We're seeing a royal Rachel Berry trend.
What song would Will Schuster sing? None. Illegal.
Illegal, yeah. He can't be singing.
What's Coach? What? Oh my God.
Sue Sylvester.
Yeah. What would Sue?
Run.
I need to see Sue Sylvester sing Run.
Wait, I've got one more good one. Kurt and Blaine would sing You're Just a Boy and I'm Kind of the Man. Okay, that's it. I'm done. You go back.
So you know how Glee is on my like top 4 like on Spotify Wrapped every year.
Yeah, it's always in your Spotify Wrapped.
And I feel like I have like the least. I'm actually borderline self-conscious about my music because it's just it's wild. You know, like that song that everyone like listens to like as a joke, like this is over. You know the new Snow White film. There's that one like ballad that she sings.
You're not streaming.
I was streaming
Ellen.
But
what part of your day is it appropriate to listen to the Snow White
I don't know,
song?
because I'd say I'm not that like educated. I don't know. I never like explore new albums. I just like occasionally.
But when in your day are you putting on Snow White? Like what part?
For the words. So that's bad. But also, you know, like you know, the Robbie Williams film.
You loved the Robbie Williams film.
It's gonna be on
your Spotify Wrapped. It won't even be Robbie Williams. It'll be the monkey from Robbie Williams singing Robbie Williams covers.
My boyfriend keeps on like making fun of me because like it's not even Robbie Williams. It sounds really like Robbie Williams, but it's the monkey singing My Way. That shit is my jam. Reload.
When people ask me like, do your family listen to your music? I'm like, well, Ellen's kind of busy listening to the monkey from the Robbie Williams film, so she's not really gotten into MP3 yet.
This is another low point. I used to like lie to like my boyfriends what I used to listen to when I was in school.
You're like, yeah, I listened to Kate Trinado actually.
Yeah, I listened to Drake.
I listened to Drake actually.
And then one time I was driving my shitty little car when I just passed. I was 17. I had my boyfriend, and I was still kind of ominous. Like he'd asked me what my favorite like artist and music was. I'd be like, like never answer. And I had also, this is not embarrassing, I love Casey Musgraves.
Yeah, we both love Casey Musgraves.
But it was very like country girly, and I feel like in the UK, like it's not that cool to be a country girly.
I feel like your boyfriend at school was into like Drake.
Yeah, and then I put it on. Best believe I reach for the.
You're like, sorry, my Drake CD was just underneath that one.
Sorry. My Drake's about to come on.
Yeah, my Drake's literally is about to come on.
But yeah, now that's on growth, because best believe I'm putting the Casey.
Best believe we are.
Yeah.
Best believe it's Casey Musgraves Glee soundtrack.
And fun fact, that was such a green flag of my boyfriend is he had when I went to his house for the first time, he had a Casey Musgraves vinyl. Oh, and I was like, what a circle.
That's a huge green flag.
What a circle. And he also bought Maisie's vinyl. So
he did. He bought me a vinyl player for Christmas.
Yeah, but he bought your physical vinyl.
Oh, and he bought my physical vinyl, yeah.
Yeah, and then it was just staring at me from his room.
But he bought that because after he knew that. But after you guys were together.
Yeah.
He didn't buy it before.
Yeah. Fun fact, he actually didn't know who Maisie was.
Well, can't help that he has no taste. Can't help that a man has no taste. Now he does.
Okay, so after that lovely tangent, shout out Gleecast, we will be moving on to dilemmas.
Mm-hmm.
So I will start. I've been having troubles with my roommate for a while, and it's getting to the point where I consider her more a roommate than a friend now. I'm afraid if I don't move out, then we'll stop being friends entirely.
That is tricky. I would say probably if you want to save your friendship, the best thing to do will probably be to think about moving out. Living with people is not for everyone, you know? I feel like us two living together, it's good we did 18 years of practice. And we're sisters, so...
But it's just different with family.
Different, yeah.
It's just like the annoyance that you get like over like a spoon in the sink. Like I'm never going to send Maisie a picture of a spoon in the sink. Or if she did send that to me, I'd literally be like, shut up.
Yeah, and I'd be like, fair enough. Deleted WhatsApp picture. No, it's just less. It's not really passive either. Like you're not really passive aggressive, or you're just aggressive. Like me as well. Like I'm like, Ellen, take your laundry out the washing machine.
But I've done a lot of living with friends. I've done kind of every combo. I've had the highs. I've had the lows.
Mm-hmm.
Like can't do it anymore. It is a lot. Like it's really rare that you find someone that you're like compatible with living
roommate.
together.
So
like,
true.
So hard. Like I've had so many times where we're like best friends, and then we live together, and then you know what though, it's recognizing when, like, I think it's good to snip it in the bud earlier. I think the longer it drags out, just the deep rooted it gets. It's so funny how something so silly as like a teaspoon in a sink
it will prompt actual World War III.
It will.
It will live rent free in your brain.
I have a couple situations, like even still ongoing now, that it's like no one said anything. Like there's just, because like I feel like once that happens, you can't. It's really hard to bring it back because you'll always have that memory of teaspoon and sink.
Yeah, you can never see them without seeing teaspoon and sink.
Or it's just like you just see them in a whole different way. Like some people just like prefer, like have their schedules, have their things they like to do. And other people kind of, especially like when you're young, they treat like moving into a house as like a new social group. And so when those expectations are different, and it's kind of sad because it's like I think people, if they didn't live together, they like, I've got some instances where like people, I could still be friends with some people, but
teaspoon and sink.
Teaspoon and sink one.
Yeah, I agree. I think I've had really great roommates. So have you. You've had great roommates. But it's a compatibility thing as well. Like some people you're just not compatible with to live with. And some people you are, and that doesn't have necessarily mean anything about your friendship. It's more just about like, do you have the same preferences? Do you have the same schedule? Like when I used to live with my friend Kate, shout out, she's moved to Nashville now. cry, but she was a musician too. So you best believe when we would both have a day off together, we'd just be spending time doing absolutely fuck all. We'd be like, okay, let's go get a little treat at 2, do our washing at 3, maybe sit here and chat until 4. And it was just beautiful because we were on the same schedule.
Yeah, and then when I lived with you guys for like a couple months, and I'd just be sat at the table with my laptop, and I was like, no way is this my life.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just watching them be like, ooh, what one errand should I do today?
Yeah, maybe I won't even do that one. And we were a queen with a full-time job.
Yeah, and I feel like I probably couldn't have done that long term.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, that would have been...
And luckily, now I live with you, and you're the perfect roommate because you're my sister. And I think that, well, maybe not for everyone. Yeah, I don't have a choice because she won't move out.
I'm an acquired taste.
Yeah, but I feel like I've really acquired that taste, as I said, after being your twin sister for 24 years.
Yeah, but also I feel like some people, it depends what you prioritize, because I would prioritize vibes over cleanliness. Like, I can deal with a sink.
Oh, yes, I know you can. I know you can deal with that, but guess who can't? Me. So guess who cleans it? Me.
You know what one of my favourite moments of uni was like when people would like take each other's stuff. Who has taken my paprika? This can't be my life. We can't be arguing about paprika. Like, it's just too far.
I never take your paprika. I don't even know what paprika looks like. I've never seen it.
I feel like you have to experience the lows to experience the highs. Like, you're not allowed to have perfect roommates from day one. Like, in my first year of uni, we lived in a god-awful, classic me, I'd forgotten to do the accommodation application. So I ended up in this random place, 40 minutes away from the uni. But I actually met one of my best friends there, trauma bond.
So true.
But it was in this derelict kind of place. And I was in a flat of 10 people. To lose 10 people.
I remember, I visited you.
Yeah, it was not cute. One day we got this message in our, we weren't a tight-knit flat. We kind of just, apart from me and my friend, we kind of, everyone went on about their lives. And one day we got this message, I literally cried. It was like, can someone please move their beef in the fridge? It's dripping blood. I was like, no. I can't be doing this.
I remember my first place in London, which infamously was called Girls' House, and was also quite a cursed building, and there were 6 of us girls living in it at the time, and it was such just a horrendous vibe, even though we tried our best to make it nice, that me and my housemate at the time would do this thing called fresh alpine air, which is where we would put loads of I can't even really remember what they were. They were spices and echinacea oils and stuff like that. We put it in a big pot on the stove and we just let it fill the air with the smells. And then we were fresh alpine air. And you had to lock close all the doors, all the windows. And No mold, just fresh alpine air. So I remember doing that quite a lot.
Oh, you know what? This is just triggering all my, just now I remembered. It was unfortunately quite recently before I lived here, and we hosted a flat party, and God knows how I hear a scream, and then I just see this XL bully running towards me. And this was a time when the XL bullies had been banned in the UK, it was top of the news, and I just hear, whose XL bully is this? And this XL bully is just running around the flat, and it's a small flat, and there's 50 people in there. And then it takes my crock. And then there's this girl trying to get the crock out the XL bully's mouth. That same night as well, someone was like, by the way, there's a human shit outside
We can't.
What? We're just highlighting the highs and the lows of the London housing market.
But I guess this girl's more talking about housemates. So as long as it wasn't one of your housemates, the human shit.
No, but I just am saying that there's highs and lows.
There are highs and lows, as we've just explained. And I guess, but if you want to protect your friendship, I would say your friendship. No, illegal.
Okay.
If you want to protect your friendship, I would suggest probably maybe having a conversation with your friend about how, even though you love them, maybe it's just the best thing for your friendship would be to live separately. And you might find that actually it works really well, and your friendship goes back to all the great things it was before, without the pressure of the living situation.
Yeah, time is a healer.
What was the other one? Time is a healer and home is where the heart is. Home is where the heart is.
We've got some quotes.
I'll use them in my songs. I'm looking for some inspo. Okay, great. Let me find my one. Okay, now my one is a bit long, so I'm going to try and summarize it. But this person said, my dilemma is very John Hughes movie coded. And that is where the problem already lies, I guess. So true, Queen. I went to a party a while ago and I ended up meeting this guy. I already knew him vaguely, but we'd never talked until that night. We got tipsy and spent the night laughing at the pool under the stars.
This is so in America, isn't it? Like, that's never, what, the Lido?
Yeah. It's probably not in Hayward's Heath, is it? Here comes the plot twist. He told me he had been talking to a friend of mine who was at the party as well. I felt a bit disappointed, to be honest, and left early. Later, I found out he kissed her that night, but after that, they ended their thing because there was no connection between them. Now, another friend told me she has a crush on him and reached out. I haven't spoken to him since that night, though he did like my Instagram story recently, so there's that. That's not nothing. That is never not nothing.
This man is in demand. I kind of hate this for the girlies.
I know. Right? Okay, so we said we keep in touch, but we never did. Of course, I know it's a no-go to date another friend's ex-situationship, but the problem is that I dream about him a bit too often. And at the same time, I'm trying to be supportive of my other friend who has a crush on him. So all the girls have a crush. Who is this man? Bring him to us. Bring him over. Sit him down.
Wow.
I guess.
I feel like it's fair game till he's
cuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's fair game as well. You did spend the night laughing at the pool under the stars. Did those other girls? I don't think so. I didn't hear a pool in their story. Nor a star.
And the Instagram like.
And listen, I could write essays on the Instagram like. The Instagram like is worth more.
So powerful.
Than any song, than any sonnet. When you see that Instagram like.
Especially if it's like 2 weeks ago. Like, what do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean he perceived me? No, he's perceiving you all right, girl.
But also, for a lot of these girls to fancy him, he's probably giving out signals.
True,
to a lot
why
of
do they all
girls.
fancy him? But I guess you fancy him, this girl, so... Or this person.
Yeah, but you know what? This is quite main character for her. She can just listen to some Glee. And
listen to some Maisie Peters.
Yeah.
I think you mean.
Listen to some Maisie Peters, really fill it out, and then get your best outfit on.
Maybe you should like his Instagram story.
Yeah.
Put in a reverse on that.
Oh my God. The modern
You could put like a song that's specific to the situation on your Instagram story and see if he like takes the bait.
Yeah, oh my God.
I bet you did some of those.
Used to do that.
I did some horrendous ones. I used to like cover songs that I knew those
That's like
those
Pop Star
guys.
Audition.
Yeah,
of
Pop Star
Desperate.
Audition. I was desperate. I was on my knees. I used to like cover songs that I knew those guys liked, so that I like those songs.
Oh my God.
I did a Libertines cover. I don't know the Libertines. What's a Libertine?
I'd go to kind of bars, which I know that they've like been to Stockholm.
Yeah.
Or just something that would like catch their...
Oh my God, yeah, like I post books that I knew they'd read. It was
Mine were never literate enough for that.
No, it was more sort of bars and drinks. Mine were poems.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no, I actually...
You need to find his thing. You need to find his weird, like, little niche only relevant to him. And then you need to...
Go stalk his Spotify, go stalk his playlists. Find a playlist, find a song like quite far down so you know maybe it's like kind of a niche song and put it on your story. That's
this
my
is
advice.
like my nightmare because if a boy looked at mine and found Glee...
Loser like me, Glee cast, then you know he's stalked.
And I'd be embarrassed and he'd probably be like, I don't want a girl that can...
No, he would love your eclectic taste. and you should love that about yourself too. So we think...
Or maybe get down that pool. Do some lengths.
Hope he comes back. Butterfly at the pool. The men come running.
Goggles
cap on, hat on, submerged, ready to go.
Maybe you should, you know how when we used to chuck things, you could dive down. Do a handstand.
Do a handstand. Yeah, do a personal best.
Nothing really
See
says...
how long you can be underwater for. Boys love all these things.
Nothing says love like a handstand.
So true. Nothing says love like who can hold their breath for longer under the water. So I think just try some of these techniques maybe
just
at the pool.
Just try some aquatic...
sort of vibes. Give it an aquatic vibe. But I think it's fair game. And I think if you really like this guy and you feel like he might be the one, then you should go for it. You should put yourself out there. You should send that text, make that Instagram story, swim that length.
But also, like, I feel like what do you mean? I feel like that I'd find that annoying. Like, there would be that sense of achievement of getting the guy that everyone likes, but
Who would find that annoying?
Well, I would. If all the girlies fancied my boyfriend.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, I think
we're presuming they're going to be girlfriend and boyfriend. Anyway, let's cut it there.
Okay.
I've got nothing left to give.
Okay, we'll end it on my note. Okay, you're up next.
So we've got a normie one. Woo! So this means Maisie won't understand. It's got work in it.
Oh yeah, I've never heard of her. Never met her.
Not a whole lot of love dilemmas, but feeling constantly like I'm not good enough at work, even if I just started. I have a huge imposter syndrome, which sucks. Yeah, I feel like imposter syndrome is always gonna hit. Like, I every day have it. I think as well, work is a game. Like, and I've realized everyone plays the game.
You got to play the game.
It's all about the game. I don't think I play the game very well.
But it is all about the game.
I feel like I take too much blame. I'm like, guys, yeah, I did do that. I'm not gonna
sometimes
lie.
it's a technique to just be like, that was my fault. And then just move on. Just move on.
That was so my fault,
That was so my fault, silly me.
But then it really annoys me when others don't. And they'll literally I'm like, guys.
Right, are we 7?
Literally, it's not that deep.
It's not that deep. Okay, so I think some things we'd like to say is that number 1, work is a game. But number 2, work is not that deep.
See, I don't feel imposter like, I get it when I just actually don't know what the hell's going on.
I don't know if that's imposter syndrome, then I just think you don't know what's going on.
No, but like when I'm overwhelmed, I feel like I get more imposter syndrome. Like I never get it like when I feel like I've got everything under control. And I also think it's a lot to do with your surroundings. Like I said to my manager, I was like having it quite badly, like with first 6 months, because I'd done my projects, I'd kind of had my hand held, and then I was kind of left to fly the nest, and I was like, and I was like, what? I need help, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be one of those girls that I need like 2 1-to-1s a week. I need
not 2. I feel like I give you a 1-to-1 every day.
Yeah,
I give you constant 1-to-1s.
So maybe it's just you need more like actual like speaking to people. Like I always think speaking helps, and especially if you're speaking to someone who's like in your similar position, like, or someone that's like a level up that can kind of like cut through the just like noise. Because I always like, if I could see myself my 2 years ago person at work, I'd just be like, sure, it's all
it'll work out.
It all works itself out.
I also heard from a good friend of mine, somebody said that imposter syndrome happens when you become so good at something, you convince yourself it's easy and therefore anyone could do it.
Guys, I really don't think I know what imposter syndrome is.
I think it's so funny. I can actually write essays on why that is so funny that you don't think you understand imposter syndrome. It's when you feel like you have achieved something, or you're working within something, and you feel like not worthy of the thing, and you feel like you can't believe you're there, and that people don't realize that you shouldn't be there, or you shouldn't have this job, you shouldn't have won this thing, because actually you're an imposter, and like you're not good enough for this thing, and everyone's going to realize soon that you're not good enough for it.
Oh, but I interesting.
It's sort of always just good enough. You would not relate to Maisie Peters' good enough.
No, like self-confidence.
Yeah, it's like feeling like me explaining self-doubt to you.
I get self-doubt.
Yeah, no, you do get self-doubt. No, I guess this is sort of, I guess this is like more niche, maybe imposter syndrome. But it's good that you don't get imposter syndrome, because also you shouldn't, because you've most likely worked hard to be where you are, and you are deserving, and you are worthy of the things that you have. And like, I think especially as women, we need to remember that, because it's easy to feel like, you know, oh, maybe I'm not the right person for this job, or maybe I don't know enough. But you know, it doesn't think that. A man doesn't think that.
No, you just need to look at any kind of mid-aged man doing the bare minimum.
I'm already doing more than them. Like, there's a study that men often apply for jobs that they're not qualified for, and women hardly ever apply for a job that they're not qualified for. If possible, remind yourself that imposter syndrome is not real, and that you most likely are deserving and are valid in whatever role it is you're doing. And you should be there. You deserve to be there, and you've earned being there, and you've worked hard to be there. So you should remember that if you can.
Period.
Okay, we've got the last dilemma here, and it is, my best friend has been distant since they started dating someone recently and has been spending more and more time with them. I'm really happy for them, but it's really hard because we've always been so close and I miss how it was before. I feel like I don't have any right to be sad or jealous that they're spending more time with them than me, but I can't help missing them.
Been on both ends.
Yeah, I've also been on both ends.
Yeah, tough.
Tricky. Your last 2 brain cells. Tough. Tricky.
It's that jet lag.
No, you don't have jet lag. You actually, I can't.
It is shit being that friend. Like, I feel like my heart is with you, because like the person in the relationship, like, they'll never truly understand. And you know what? The boy will come first. Like, at this current moment, he will. Like, especially with it being quite new. Like,
just you wait for his downfall.
I feel like I always was one of those people that would be so consumed at the start, but like, I almost feel like you need to like wait for it to like tip over. No, not tip over as an end, as in like they need to get to the point where they're like, obviously they need to still be prioritizing you, but you've got to accept that for like a bit of time that he is going to be kind of front and center because he's the new shiny thing. But I think like once it gets to like a year over, that is when like I kind of felt like I came back. I'm like, oh, okay, now
just
I have,
a boy.
I can do things with my life. Like, I'm like, I don't need to like reserve every single spare moment for him, because you feel more confident in the relationship. You just you're feeling more. And so like me and my friend, who have both been with our boyfriends for a similar amount of time, literally a year, and we're like, oh,
should we hang out?
Should we hang out? And now we hang out all the time, and like it's just kind of, yeah, I feel like it always comes back around. Like the phase will end, but I think, bearing in mind, I kept my friends close for like throughout it. I've never completely, but I think that's another problem if they're not putting energy into you. If they're putting a bit of energy into you, then you just need to wait it out, and they'll come back round. But then, like, I mean, it still happens. I was like, girls, the Lido is for the girls. You're not bringing your boyfriends to the Lidos.
Boyfriends are not allowed at the Lido. I was going to say, I agree with you, and I think that's the reality of the situation. I do think that, like, if you're really feeling a strong type of way about this, then it's good to communicate that instead of it getting a bit sort of passive aggressive, or there being things left unsaid. And equally, you know, if you're the person in the relationship, you might not even realize you're upsetting that person. You might not even realize the extent to that. And I would, if I was the other person, I would way rather they just come to me and they say, listen, like, you know, I totally understand, but I just miss you and I just love to see you more. And if you come at it in that vibe, not in a sort of accusatory vibe, but in a like, I just really miss you, I'd love to see you more, then I think you're way more likely to have a positive.
But then I do also think,
outcome.
I think the person in the relationship has to take it, like there is no way they can really get aggressive, because like, I don't know, I feel like we all feel sorry for the God, maybe that's just society. But like she's got the best of both worlds. Like, or your friend has got the best. They've got the friend and the boyfriend. Yeah. So like they kind of have the upper hand.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if I feel like the best case scenario, like the best outcome for this person would be to be able to spend more time with their friend, and like I think that's what they're looking for. So I'm saying I think the best outcome to that is just having like an open conversation about it.
Yeah, but also like, I mean, it depends if they're looking to date, but I always found double dates really fun. Like,
we never did a double date.
No.
That's so sad.
Fun fact, my second ever date with my boyfriend was a double date. I was like, I'm bored.
Let's bring someone else.
Let's bring someone else. If they're your friend, obviously, like, me and the girls say this, how, like, we obviously, like, love each other's boyfriends, but, like, we are there for the girls. Like, I'm like, you are my friend. Like, he is your boyfriend. Yeah. You are my friend.
Like, she is beautiful and he's there.
I feel like you just need to, and it's, I mean, I don't know if they get along, but you just all need to coexist, I think.
Yeah. And I also think, like, again, speaking from experience of now, like, being the friend in the relationship, I remember being like, obviously, there are times when you just should do things with you and your friend, the two of you, but you could be like, well, why don't we all go for dinner? Like, why don't we all do this thing? And if your partner is like the right person, then they'd be super up for that.
Yeah, it's just that balance, because like there's got to be enough like you and them time. There's got to be enough like all time,
and it is difficult for sure.
Oh, it's so hard,
especially when you're in your like 20s, early 20s, and everyone's in very different stages.
Yeah.
So I feel like that definitely was difficult for me in my experience of just having so many friends, all different ages, all different types of being relationships, being single, all that, and like trying to find time and like good proper time with everyone to make it work.
Yeah, and it's also like I'm such like a people person, so like it would be hard. I think I would take it harder than someone who's just very like independent and like loves to just spend time by themselves. Like so, I think it just depends what type of person you are. Because trust me, I'm
you
crying.
as a single person, we can actually never go back. You were scratching the walls of your enclosure.
Speak to me.
Speak to me. But yeah, that is a difficult scenario. But I would say my advice would be, to just try and start an open conversation, and it really might improve things.
So guys, obviously, if you want us to chit-chat about your dilemmas.
You've never said that ever in your life. Okay, but carry on. Sorry, I'm interrupting. Carry on with your chit-chat.
If you would like to be included in our next round of dilemmas, please send your dilemma to hello@twinhoodpodcast.com.
Okay, well, I think it might be time we wrap it up there. With that, Ella's going to go to sleep off her jet lag that she doesn't have because she was away for 1 week.
Oh my God, it's a 6-hour time difference.
It's not real. It's not a thing.
You know, East is beast, West is best.
I do know that because you know who travels for a living? Me! Me! But anyway, I think with that.
I'm going to go make you dinner.
Oh my God.
What would you like,
I
Petal?
can't wait. What did we say we were going to have?
I think we're going to have a Thai red chicken curry.
Oh my God, I would love that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, okay, well, I'm going to go have my Thai red chicken curry. Sucks to be you not having the Thai chicken red curry. So yeah, we're going to go, but thank you so much for watching. Oh my God, I need to do
Tesco shop as well.
Okay, well, you just park your Tesco shop for a minute and let me finish the podcast. Ella's going to do a Tesco shop and make me a curry. I am going to say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching, for being here with us, for listening. We love you so much. We'll see you next time. Kisses to the camera. And from Twinhood, goodbye.
And that's how Sue sees it.
I can't.
That's how Maisie. No, that doesn't right. Okay, bye.
Oh, God.